Hello Junkies, my name is Bob, and today we are going to be doing a very special review. This is anticipation of Comic-Con 2019. Hasbro sent us a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive of the Marvel 80th anniversary 6-inch Hulk. Yes, this is the very same Hulk that you will have to travel all the way to San Diego to get, or perhaps you will be able to order it off of Hasbro Pulse sometime in September. I believe the date has not yet been announced. So, without further ado, let's get to this figure. So now, this figure comes in its own collector box, and I have it kept in here. It's a white box, very much in the style of a lot of exclusives. This is a pretty cool thing that Hasbro has done. Sometimes you just get these and then that's it, and it's in a package, and then you're kind of like stuck with it. However, in this kind of storage package that they've given us, you're actually able to display it this way, you're able to store it this way, you're able to keep track of what the figure is. Several companies have been doing this. At one point, Matty Collector did this with some of their superpower releases that they had done. It's very efficient and great for a collector, and that's what these toys are. These Comic-Con exclusives are the collector's toys. A kid's not gonna, first of all, a parent isn't going to pay $35 for this. Maybe they will, but I mean, yeah, for a birthday or something. But a kid's not going to get this and open it up and play with it. That's just not how these San Diego Comic-Con things work. Now, this is one of two that Marvel is doing. The other one is a 2-pack of the Grandmaster and the Collector from Thor Ragnarok and Guardians of the Galaxy. But today we're going to be reviewing the Hulk. So, I have already been dreading this, because this is one of those things where, as a toy collector, let me put him back, as a toy collector and as someone who loves and values Comic-Con exclusives, this is going to be difficult. And yes, I'm going to open it. So let's get to that. We cut that open at the top here. See, it's already cut. And here we go. Now we're going to open this bad boy up all the way, but we will talk about it as we do this. So, when I was a kid, there weren't many Marvel superhero figures that you could get that weren't part of the Superpowers line, or even maybe the Secret Wars line that Mattel did. So, the Superpowers were done by Kenner, Secret Wars were done by Mattel. So, it's kind of funny how all of this is kind of switched over time. But at one point, there was a company called Toybiz, and Toybiz made the package look exactly like this. Remove the 80th anniversary thing here. Looked exactly like this. Had Toybiz down here in the bottom. It's a little red and yellow circle. And when they did that, when they released these figures, you got Spider-Man, you got the Hulk, Wolverine, the X-Men were very big. They did a lot of the X-Men. And to celebrate the 80th anniversary of Marvel, they've gone in and they've done several of the X-Men, Wolverine, Silver Samurai. They really have been releasing these in regular stores as well. Not to this scale and scope. Obviously, this one's a little bit bigger than a $19.99 price point. But with this figure, it's a little bit bigger. It's got that Comic-Con exclusiveness to it that you really just want to pick one of these up and find out what it's like. Now, the original Toybiz figure came with a boulder and a crowbar. And the only reason why I know that is because I actually had it up until about 2 years ago. I found it in storage and thought, you know what? I'm never going to open this. It's not that cool of a toy. My nephew will love it. Gave it to my nephew. It has since disappeared, but it was played with. So that's the nice part. At least the Hulk got out of his box and package and was able to enjoy a child's touch and warmth and had an adventure or two, hopefully, before he disappeared into the toy box. So here we are. Now, the Hulk is this is 6-inch scale, but I brought a tape measure, and as you see from his toes, he is actually 8 3/4 inches tall. So that's almost 9 inches tall. So another reason why the package is so big, and forgive if you saw anything here on the sides. He's a monster of a figure. We've got great artwork here, very much in this style. I've heard, now some people have compared this Hulk's chest to a previously released Hulk's chest, And that may be true. Now, if you look at it from the side here, we do have a crushed pipe, which is part of his accessory. This card is solid. This is a heavy-duty card. And we have a fantasy scene in the back of him, I guess, stepping on the pipe. And then we have the Incredible Hulk, fueled by his anger and powered by gamma radiation. Bruce Banner transforms into a super strong Hulk, smashing through anyone in his way. This is more of a Hulk rage, not so much a Professor Hulk or the Gray Hulk, the Fixer, if you will. So it's a little bit more, standard green, purple pants. This is that kind of Hulk. Love this logo, though. Love the logo that they added. It was on the box as well. So let's get to it. Now, I'm going to try and preserve the card because I do like the back of this. And then once he's out of the front here, it's kind of... Oh, okay. So I was about to cut it here on the side, but really the cardboard is very thick, and this is placed inside. So I could cut this, which is what I think I'm going to do. Now this isn't the best knife that I have to actually cut through plastic, but we're going to do our best here because this is actually, there's another layer of cardboard underneath over top of this layer. So that's interesting. It's almost 3 layers thick. So that's nice. This will preserve the card, but, oh man, I wish I had a camera myself because there we go. Oh, you could just, it's like when you cut through it, you can basically just watch the money just fly away. Now, I've had numerous Comic-Con exclusives, but, with life constantly getting in the way, it's hard to keep them from time to time. These were ones that I acquired by actually going to San Diego, waiting in line, dealing with all of that nightmare. And it's worth it if you are in line and you have a good conversation with somebody and you're able to, make the most of your time. And especially if it's really hot out, you've done a lot for the day, you've got that cool window where you're able to actually just kind of look and go, yep, this is the one shot, I better take it now. And I'll reveal something that a lot of people who live in San Diego and participate, and part of the press that I've talked to, they said the best thing to do if you're going to get an exclusive is wait until Sunday. Sunday is family day and the day that most people, they go home, so they're not even there. So I've been to at least 2 Sundays, and it is a lot more lax. The lines are quicker. You're able to, get right in, get right out. You do run the risk of that hot item, whatever it is, but you do have a better chance. So here we go. I've cut around the bubble, or as I call it here on AFJ, the plastic coffin. Oh, and he's out. And I think I preserved the card pretty good, and I will keep the card. But he is a beast. Wow, he's already weighed out into the package. So I will keep the bubble. Did a pretty good job, I think, preserving it. I do like the card. I like the artwork that goes into it. So let's get into our weapon, if you will. He has a crushed pipe. So this, I guess, is going to be like a bat. So we can look at it that way. It's more of a weapon. Nice detail. Feels like 2 pieces. This up here feels like a second piece. Almost looks like it might even go in something. Look at the way this is. It's almost like if there was a base. So that kind of makes you wonder if there's something else coming that they could, he could crush, that kind of thing. So let's get him out of the plastic coffin. Now, we don't have any rubber bands here on the back of the Hulk. And he feels like a beast. I did have a Hulk from the Eric Bana movie who was very much in this style. And you squeezed him like this. You squeeze him like that. It was Hulk rage. It was pretty neat. Wow. Okay. Now, I'm going to readjust my camera here. So give me a second. So there he is. He's got some packing, kind of packing string on him or something. So my just holding immediately, he feels very much like a Build-A-Figure. He's just that bulky, these arms would he's bulky. So he feels like these would be pieces that you would get with a Build-A-Figure. So he's instantly posing, but let's do more of a Hulk rage kind of pose here. Let's spread out his legs just a little bit and give you kind of an idea of if he's posable. I feel like I'm one of maybe 10 people in the world that will actually open this year. That won't just get a damaged boxed one or something like that and then open him. So I definitely feel unique in this. So there he is. It's a little bit of a curvature here on this on our board thing, but he was standing there for a second. There he is. He's very solid. I love the details. And we'll do some close-ups here. So immediately, I like that we have a Hulk rage kind of look to him. But I wish that his mouth neither opened or closed. That's one criticism that I have. And I know it's a Comic-Con exclusive, and most people will never take him out of the package. But I would like to have maybe a closed mouth Hulk. But then again, Hulk rage is, this is what you're going to get. He feels almost like a He-Man figure up top, like he'd swing back into motion, but he's not going to, So a second set of hands would have been nice, especially for the price point of $34.99. And I know the exclusivity of him entitles him to a little bit of a higher price point. They're not going to make as many, but different hands would have been good, especially like to have two fists and then two hands that would be open. Pants are very detailed, and they actually come out from the skin here at this level, and then there's a little bit like the green smooth here is cut into that. Really appreciate that by Hasbro. But again, every time he does move a little bit, I feel like he's almost like a He-Man, like an old school He-Man figure. So this is a nice rubber that they have here. It's ripped here too, so you can get that extra little bit look to it. He has peg holes on his feet. But he is a solid Hulk. So we're going to say, get his legs a little bit more underneath him here. I mean, he is a big figure. Nearly 9 inches tall. I'm just going to fix the camera here a little bit. There we go. And he is a solid figure. Let's zoom in on his face here. And as you can see, colors are just fantastic. So it's a solid figure. Now I figured a lot of people were comparing his chest and everything, and I figured, you know what? Let's do the most recent Hulk that's out, or has been out. And we have the Build-A-Figure Avengers Hulk. Now, this one is obviously in the style of Mark Ruffalo, and we can see an immediate size comparison here to the two. So obviously the new Toybiz style 80th anniversary Hulk has a little bit more shoulders to him. I mean, ragier, obviously. We do have more realistic pants, and these are the purple ones. So, and we do have chest hair, where here we only have a couple little veins on the Mark Ruffalo Hulk that pop out, where here we have veins. We've got these shoulders here. So do a back-to-back side, and as you can tell here, this is going to sound weird, but if you look at the feet, toenails not painted, toenails painted. Now that's just to say that the character is, not that he's getting it done. And we can also see we have a little bit more of a neck here, and then size comparison-wise, if you hold them up, they're close to being the same in height, just a little bit. We've got a more cartoony green, comic booky green, and then we have a more realistic olive green. Now, one thing that I love doing is taking a more traditional character figure and posing it next to these monsters, and I figured he was probably one of the most likely candidates to stand next to the Hulk. So there you get an idea. Now, this is the new Spider-Man Far From Home figure. I really love this figure more than I ever thought I would. We do have it reviewed here on AFJ. However, this figure here, I mean, you can see the height difference. We are talking, he is a tad shorter than most. We are talking about almost 3 inches taller in the 6-inch scale. So this is Spider-Man Far From Home, as you can see there, next to the 80th anniversary Comic-Con exclusive Hulk. So, as we wrap this up, let's actually give him his weapon and see if we can actually get it into his hand. Now, I would say these fingers, also fingernails painted here, very easily moved. Don't have to do on a hairdryer trick. Had to do that a couple weeks ago with Molten Man. He was kind of a pain trying to get all of his parts to fit together. So, as we get it in here, it's always just a matter of just getting that thumb around and getting the finger into the right spot. And I was kind of like thinking that the Hulk would carry something like this and it would be to the side. Like, yeah, I got this, but I'm really going to hit you with the fist first. And there he is. So all in all, I would say that I'm not wowed by the figure. I'm not that big of a Hulk fan. However, I think it's a cool figure to actually open up and pose him and play with him and do things with him. I think Hasbro may have missed the boat on this one by making him a Comic-Con exclusive. Then again, this might have been on purpose because they want more people to go out and do the Build-A-Figure Hulk over trying to actually just go out and buy a Hulk. But the Hulk is a character that kids love, especially younger kids. My brother, he had a Hulk bank. It still has it. And he's not a toy collector. So, I mean, the Hulk meant a lot to him. But as far as figures go, and Comic-Con exclusive goes, I love the packaging. This may be one to leave in the package. It's a cool figure. AFJ is going to have him on display. We're going to use him in a lot of comparisons. But overall, I think the $34.99 price point is the sweet spot. It's not too expensive. Comes in a nice travel case. If you're buying him at Comic-Con and you're going to bring him all the way back to Philadelphia or Boston or Chicago or something, he'll travel well. He'll do okay in the box, and he'll survive the trip if you mail him from Comic-Con, which you can do. So this is Bob signing off. It was a little bit longer than normal, but this is a Comic-Con exclusive. We wanted to give it its due. Thanks for tuning in, junkies.